What if the very act of seeking enlightenment is the very thing keeping you from it? What if the one who seeks is the only illusion that needs to disappear? Welcome back to Reflections Beyond Time. In our journey through Ramesh Balsekar's teachings, we've already uncovered three powerful insights. You are not the doer. Life is a flow. Let it happen. The ego is just a function, not the enemy. And now we arrive at one of the most paradoxical truths in all of spirituality. Enlightenment is not something you reach. It is what remains when the seeker disappears. In this video, we'll explore Balsekar's understanding of enlightenment, not as a destination, but as the collapse of the questioner. The end of the one who asks, "How do I get there?" Ramesh Balsekar lived an outwardly ordinary life, disciplined, intelligent, successful. He was president of the Bank of India. He played his role with precision. But after retirement, something deeper stirred. That stirring brought him to Nisargadatta Maharaj, a towering figure in non-dual wisdom. Balsekar didn't just listen, he absorbed. And what he realized was this: all spiritual effort stems from the belief in a separate self trying to attain something. And yet, what we're trying to attain is the very thing we already are. Let's pause here. What is seeking really? Seeking begins with a sense of lack, a feeling that something is missing: peace, clarity, enlightenment. So the mind sets out to find it. It reads books, attends satsangs, practices meditation, visualizes goals. It believes that through effort, it will one day arrive. But here's Balsekar's radical message. The one who is seeking is part of the illusion. The seeker is the ego, wearing spiritual clothing. And as long as the seeker is active, the truth cannot be seen, because the truth is not an object to be found. It is the subject, the awareness that is already here, already present. Balsekar often said, "Enlightenment is the final understanding that there is no one to be enlightened." Let that sink in. There is no person that becomes enlightened. There is only the falling away of the belief in a separate person. And what remains is simple, silent, self-aware being. This is not something you achieve. It's what you return to when the noise of seeking falls quiet. But this is not easy for the mind to accept. The mind wants a method. It wants a timeline, a checklist, a reward. It wants to believe that all this effort will eventually lead somewhere. And so spiritual seeking becomes just another ego game, another way to feel in control, to feel superior, to say, "I'm getting closer." But closer to what? You can't get closer to what you already are. You can only stop ignoring it. This is why Balsekar emphasized relaxation over striving. Not laziness, but the kind of effortless awareness that arises when the mind gives up its search. So what happens when the seeker falls away? You may be surprised to find that life continues, simple, peaceful, unburdened. You no longer chase meaning, you experience it. You no longer demand peace, you rest in it. There was never anything to get. There was only something to see, that you are what you've been seeking. One man told Ramesh, "I've been meditating for 20 years and still don't feel enlightened." Balsekar gently replied, "Who is it that wants to be enlightened? Can you find him?" The man sat in silence, and in that silence, the questioner dissolved, not in a grand mystical flash, but in quiet understanding. The journey didn't end, it simply became irrelevant. Enlightenment is not the end of life. It is the end of the illusion of separation. It is the end of the seeker. In its place there is presence, stillness, awareness. There is nothing to chase, nothing to become. There is only what is and the seeing of it. Ramesh Balsekar didn't promise instant peace. He offered a mirror in which the seeker eventually sees nothing at all. and in that nothing, everything is found. If this message touched something in you, take a moment to breathe and be. Then share your reflections below. Subscribe for more insights and explore the rest of this series if you haven't already. Until next time, stay present and let the seeking fall away.